Can somebody turn the air conditioner on, please?
Go ahead.
All right. Hello. Welcome to The Glow. This is Vonshai on your Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We are bringing to you some of my VIPs, which are very interesting people. These are people passionate about their business. I'm bringing them before you. I'm going to ask them a lot of questions. I have 3 wonderful guests with us today, so I'll go ahead and bring them on in so we can say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Could everybody please introduce themselves?
Ladies.
Starting
Well,
with
I'm
Jen.
Kellyanne. I'm Kellyanne with Tomboy Wicked Line.
Okay.
I'm Glenn Quilter with Financial Investors Group and Foreclosure Exposure.
Okay.
Jerry Green, Black Student Advocate.
Okay, well, welcome to The Glow today. We're going to be talking to you guys about a lot of different things. I'm going to have a lot of different questions. I'm actually going to go around and ask questions so that way each one of you could learn about each other, because I am the matchmaker, so I usually make a match, somehow.
Okay.
In love or business, whichever one. So first of all, I would like to ask Glenn, so what city are you from, Glenn?
I'm out of Boston,
Out
Massachusetts.
of Boston? Okay.
Yes.
And where do you reside right now?
I live in Los Angeles County in the Baldwin Hills area.
Okay. And personal life, how's everything going with the quarantine?
I'm surviving through it. I'm making it day by day as we do.
All right.
Yes.
Good to hear. And Kellyanne, I would ask you the same thing. What city are you located in?
I'm actually in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Oh, you're right by me.
Okay.
You're local. And
Yes.
How's everything going with you with the quarantine?
Originally it kind of knocked me, in the head. I didn't see it coming. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, things began to shift. And so right now it's good for me.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. Life is balance and business.
That's exactly the balance. I had to find a balance that would work, and I did. So I'm good.
Good. And Jerry, where are you located in this world?
Right now, I'm in Oklahoma City, but back and forth between Oklahoma City and Southern California.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool. And so how's everything for you in Oklahoma? Is it a different type of quarantine or kind of the same as we have here?
Oh, same as Southern California. The numbers are on the uptick. And being that I was already doing majority of my business through consultation online and through Zoom, really didn't affect what I've done as a practice, but it did affect the actual industry of the school districts and how they're serving their students.
Oh, okay. Well, good. We're going to get into that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with some business questions. Can everybody hear me clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. First, I'm going to start off with Kellyanne. I'm going to ask you to introduce us to your business. What do you do? What are you passionate about? And show us if you have anything to show, any products. Let us see.
Well, thank you. I'm passionate about people, love, and life. And in doing so, I came up with my own product line. I got my last kid off to college and took my coins, rolled them up, sold my car, and I came up with this product line, which is Tomboy Wicked. So Tomboy Wicked, there it goes, it was meant for men. It's a body wash, hair gel, body splash, and I get quite a few buyers. But what I wanted to do that was differently is I wanted to appeal to everybody. So in doing so, I thought I can't just I'm a hairstylist, but I'm coming out of the chair. I don't want to create a line that is only in a hair salon or can only do hair shows. So I decided to link myself up with the fashion industry. And that worked out for me, worked out very well. And doing so, I also came up with my second line, which was because there's so many people whose lifestyle has changed and they're into holistic living. So my KA holistic line, I have a whole line here, but I'm just going to show you this one, is all organic. And with so many women, children, men also dealing with health issues, I want to stick with something. I want to show them something that is all organic that they can use. And even sometimes I'll do things to show them what they can use in their garden, on their body or hair.
Oh, okay. So you're all about the natural products. So you have men, women, and children.
I do. So much so that the product I just showed you, I won't allow the chemist to do it because I don't like the fact that they can take synthetic and replace what's natural and put a synthetic in there. Sometimes we'll do that, but I won't do that with my holistic line at all.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good to know because a lot of things have so many additives and ingredients. They're usually not good for you. You look on the bottle of oil and it has so much water.
It has everything but what it promised you.
Everything except for what it says on the front. Right.
Right.
So I'm glad to have you here. So we're
Thank
going to go on and ask we're going to go to the next question. The next question for you, which is going to be just what is your goal with the business, Tomboy Wicked? What is your end goal? What do you plan to achieve?
I would like to see my brand all over the world. I would like to see that. And with the brand going all over the world, for me personally, it's a day-to-day thing. Every day I like to see me growing. So I noticed that with COVID, I had to switch things up. And so my end goal is to watch my brand grow to the point that when I'm not here, my children's children will know that grandma, great-grandma created a brand by herself for them.
Right. Leaving a legacy for the family. That's important. That's what we all working on out here.
Yeah.
It's not even about us right now. We know that the most important thing right now is to have money, to be able to be comfortable and to take care of yourself. Anything can happen.
Yeah, we just see that with COVID.
Now, as far as for the last question, I want to just find out is in getting your brand all over the world, what would you need? Are you kind of like you need more marketing? Do you need financing, investors? Like who would be your ideal person for you to meet that could help you?
Oprah. Okay. No, my ideal person would be someone that also is as passionate about the brand that I created and would say, I am an investor, or our institute is looking at what you've done and we're interested in backing you. So marketing is not so hard with marketing because nowadays you have the internet. So there's so many different directions you can go where you don't have to go knock on a door. You can really get online and start doing a lot yourself. I went to Paris because I met someone and showed her my line. Had no idea she was over a whole program I was at. She liked my introduction. And I went to Paris because of the product. So
wow.
I think that, meeting or linking up with an investor would be a great thing. Okay.
So we have any investors listening? You can reach her at Kelly Ann. You can reach her at her website, which is tomboywicked.com.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much. So now I'd like to speak with Mr. Quilter. Hello. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well. I will start out with you as far as business. So now, what is the name of your business and what do you do? I know a lot about it, but you tell us.
Wow, what do we do? What I would say we are is a consulting company that's specializing in making sure if you are owner of any type of property or any type of business or anything that you own, and I mean own the rights to or own the real estate portion of it or whatever portion of it you own. If you're trying to get things done or get things achieved, you're not sure what your options are. I would say that you would need to sit down and come see us. What we are is a company consists of some of the folks that are involved are attorneys, retired and otherwise. We're brokers. We're lending officers. My background was a financial planner and investment officer for Great Western Bank back in the 90s. I've been a banking officer for Citibank. I've been a banking officer for Bank of America. Director of marketing for a debt management firm here in California called Corporate Debt Management. And what we're able to do is bring together our backgrounds in law, finance, financial planning, and debt together to create a company called Foreclosure Exposure. And the idea behind it is that we don't know our options when facing foreclosure. So the deal is that we're setting up the first minority-owned investment firm that deal in debt, foreclosure debt, and what your options are with it. And our goal is to help you build on what you have instead of lose what you've got by bringing resources that can help you do so. So we're a results-based company, and we're in the business of lending money and investing money into those opportunities that make sense or into those relationships that will help us all grow. So for us, our focus is your success, which will allow us to stay successful and build this company.
Okay, so you actually, when you say resources, you mean you have access to the money that actually helps people.
Exactly. We are individually and directly involved in the process. We are a broker license company. We're a loan license company. We are currently certified by the Secretary of State as a bonding foreclosure consulting company, and we're in the process of getting our last certification right now from the Department of Justice as a foreclosure consulting company.
Okay, so if a person is losing their home, they got all these notices, they don't know where to turn, what to do. You come in and give them options as far as finance, money, help. You'll negotiate with the bank. You'll help them with the process, right?
Right. I mean, the first part of that process is understanding your position, what you're going through, what your options are. Most of us don't know. We think we have two options. We have three. We have the option one, which is a realtor to sell. Option two, bring the loan current or pay the mortgage, whatever it might be, the cost or the liability. And option number three would be to hire an attorney. And in that format, all you're going to hear is, I can stop the foreclosure. So the thing is, option one and three are actually the same option. What we don't look at is option number zero, which is that if you're currently in a financial hardship with a bank, you can communicate. I'm a banker by heart, by trade, by profession. And I say to you, come sit down with someone like myself in our company and let's see what we can do from a banking perspective before you reach out to the other options without knowing what your options are. Because if you're in need of money, you come to money. You don't go to sell. You don't go to get tied up in the law, because both of those are going to either cost you or direct you in another direction that you might not be ready to go. So at least know your options.
Okay, well, that's good, because right now a lot of people are going through the process of they haven't been working for a lot of months and they are getting in trouble with their properties. They could just reach out to you at foreclosureexposure.com and you will walk them through, help them.
What we're doing right now is we're in the process of shooting a show called The Fixer. Mm-hmm. And the idea behind the show is that if you're currently going through the foreclosure process, or if you're facing what, like most Americans are going to face right now, where, as you know, 40 million Americans out of work, that means about 40 million properties in jeopardy. And what you have is a situation where when the banks allowed a lot of them to set back their payments 3 to 6 months, well, it wasn't the banks. It was the government that came in and said, just set this program up, in most cases, from my understanding. And I'm saying understanding because what you have now is a lot of the mortgage companies that signed up are not signing in, meaning that if you did sign up for the program with your mortgage company, you're not aware if they're a bank or a federal institution or not, chances are they don't have to follow the guidelines. So now you're in trouble. A lot of people are about to lose their homes because a lot of these mortgage companies that tentatively you believe signed up did not sign up. And they're saying, hey, prove to us that you made that if we gave you the 6 months or the 3 months extension, whether or not you had money, they want to see your bank statements. And if your bank statements show that you had the money you could have paid, they're going to use it against you and I hope not in most cases to file a notice of default, which they have the right to do, or put you in default, which means basically you're facing the opportunity of going through foreclosure. So the concern that I have is that a lot of what we've seen going on is now being used against us. And I think there's a new epidemic coming in the pipeline called foreclosure, and none of us are prepared for it. And I'm very concerned about that. So yes, you need to get together with our company, go to our website, know your options. What we'll be doing is bringing a show to you called The Fixer, where you can it's more about giving you the information and making sure you're prepared for it, more so than me trying to do it one-on-one, because unfortunately, each and every one of us have different lenders, different services. And these contracts between services and lenders that you won't understand is the reason why we're bringing the show to you. So you will be able to get the understanding of exactly what the process is, what to go through, what your options are, and you'll have a better formatted way of knowing your options, and you'll be able to follow through it with contacting those of us that can help you with those matters, if that makes complete sense to you.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I want to find out lastly, if what is the end goal for the company? Like, what do you plan to do with the company? Are you seeking new employees, new representatives? Representatives.
Right. So the way we're building the company is that we're set up. We have access to all the foreclosures more or less in the state of California and throughout. We have Arizona, California. We have Las Vegas, northern and southern. And so what we're doing is that we're currently putting together flyers, billboard ads along with the show. Along with that, what we're doing is we're going to be hiring consultants within the zip codes in the area where people are losing their homes. And where buyers are also shopping, because if you're a buyer looking to buy your home, there are a lot of opportunities there. We can save you a lot of money and introduce you to the right people to get things done. And it works in a sense that we're able to it's sort of in a recycling type of matter, give minorities and other people the option to, when losing properties in foreclosure, to know that you have a solid foundation that you can come to and work it through to see a better side to the other side. And that's what knowing your options is about. So if I'm losing my home and I can't afford it anymore, and I'm in the right relationship with the right company that can put me with the right people, perhaps those people can come in and either buy me out, become my partners, help me build on what I have, or at least share with me some options. Right now, you don't know what your options are, and you really don't have any, because in the mindset of the way the system is set up, you think I either got to sell or I got to hire an attorney to go to court. And you cannot win in a court game, and you're not winning if you're selling. So why not look at the options and find out what your options are, and then maybe you can get together and either win in both games, but win with a team that'll help you achieve that goal, if that makes sense to you at all. The ultimate goal for this company is to be the first minority-owned investment company to deal in foreclosures, making sure that we know we have an option, and more importantly, we have somebody there that's there for us, because that's the biggest problem we have. We're not there for ourselves and each other. And that's the goal, is to make this a reality. We're in a new era, a new time now. Things are changing. I see a change in the country. I see that people are really starting to be concerned and have that love and appreciation for each other. And I want to be a part of that movement. I think this is going to help us heal as well, because now instead of losing, we can sit down and find ways to win and build together. More importantly, if you're trying to build your first business or your first piece of property, we'll walk you through, and we'll set you up in business the correct way to make sure you win.
Okay, we'll see. Investor for business. We have investors for all different types of things, not just in commercial real estate. So we are here at the Glow, and we just want to glow you up. So if anybody doesn't know anything about you, from my network, we would like to share the website so someone can reach out to you, give you a call. You also have opportunities for people to work with you as consultants, so they can possibly make money as well. So it seems to be a wealth of knowledge and information. And thank you so much for coming in today and talking with me, Vonshai. I want you to stay. I want you to meet the other people that are coming on, and I'll get back to you and ask you a few more questions, okay?
No problem. I will be here.
All right. So the Glow, we're here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. And next, I would like to speak to my good friend, Gary Green. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you feeling?
Hey.
Hey, how you feeling? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
No complaints at all.
All right, Mr. Green. So you are always with the business. You've been on the road doing road shows for business. So tell me, like, what do you got going on right now?
First of all, let me speak to what Mr. Quilter is saying. Back in 2007, 2007, when I left CompUSA, I was out delivering the notice, doing foreclosures, notices for individuals. So he's right on the money. People think they only have the two options, and I'm glad he's in the space to provide the services. I'm also a licensed real estate broker, been a broker over 20 years in California. So what he's saying is absolutely true, that many times people do prey on our community because our community many times don't want to talk to each other or pass information on, but then they'll let someone that come in that doesn't look like us take advantage of them. So again, I just commend what you're doing there, Mr. Quilter. Is a great need, and the market is going to open wide. Like say within the next 60, 90 days, people are going to be really stressed out because of what's going on and the lack of faith throughout the country that's going to be exposed at another level.
I agree. Right. I've been trying to stress this importance for over a year now, 2 years now on Facebook, trying to find my way, trying to find the right people to help me to help others. I've cried for us. I've gone through it for us. I've begged for help from many different areas. I've been through it with the Russians. I've been through it with the other persuasions. I've set up the companies. I've been a victim of the system, so I understand the system from a banking perspective, and that's why I could bring it to you firsthand and say to you that it is what it is, and that court system down there, it's a mean place to go, and a lot of us don't understand. It's a processing plant, and it's a setup.
And again, the court is not set up for people to win. It's set up for the system to win and to take your money.
There you go. And that's what it is. a systematic process of judicial foreclosures with no response back to it. So, they're not aware that there's two types of foreclosures. There's the bank foreclosing on you and putting you in foreclosure, and you go through the process and you're done and you walk away and still have a day to fight. There is you hire the attorney and go through the foreclosure process and go to court. He's still going to get paid because his license switches over from attorney to realtor at the end to get paid through the court. But more importantly, you walk away with no properties. And so all you've done is gone through a judicial foreclosure where you have it's it. You're done. There's no, I'm looking for the right word, reprehensive. There's nothing to come back with.
Well, again, either it's immediate or it's a slow death, either immediate or slow. And if you get the lawyer, he's going to drain you and going to drain your equity anyway.
Exactly. And see, if you and I are there and people like ourselves, and we connect as we're doing now, and we give them the option, here's what we can become. We can become partners. We can grow. Across the country, you have a bunch of real estate companies, not real estate companies. Let me take that back. You have a bunch of contracting companies performing as realtor brokers, hiring people to knock on doors to bring deals in. And at the end of the day, you're probably looking at getting 3 to 5% out of all the work that you've done, when you could have been someone knocking on the door helping people lose their property, or as a licensed realtor. So a lot of it is we're being used against ourselves, and we don't get the process and plan how it's working. And the purpose of this business and the purpose of this whole show and idea is to show us how we can really work together and make this thing work. If you go to my website, foreclosureexposure.com, you're going to see the testimonies of people like Mr. Curtis Jackson, who was the former on the boxing team of Muhammad Ali. Got a property in Venice Beach, as is valued in a triplex, about $3 million. They were getting ready to steal his property from him for about $1.9 million. And the real value of his home was $7.5 million. He doesn't have a clue. And no one's going to help him get a clue, because where he has to go shopping at, there's none of us there. I had already taken a loan for $2 or $3 million. Well, I can honestly, God, tell you, I've written paper for over 40, 50 million, because nobody knows what color I am, thanks to this thing called the internet. So it doesn't matter. What matters is whether or not you have the resources, the relationship in place, and the people that can get things done. I'm here. And I thank God for putting me here, because I've come from cancer to the answer to still be here. And I've questioned all the way through, why me, God? Why am I here? So I'm stopped questioning it now, and I'm just thanking God for getting me here.
Well, that means your purpose ain't served.
Right.
But thank you again for the compliment. I really appreciate that support.
Yes, sir.
And I support you.
Yes, sir.
So see, we bring things out of the darkness and make them glow. We want to know.
Right.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, because we're in our community, we sometimes lack joining together genuinely. We always want to just use each other for what you can do, but when I make relationships with people, I want them to actually get to know the person, what they do, what they have going on, because there's a lot that goes behind each person. Like, you come out here, everybody's a business, but everybody's a person, has a story and a reason. And the only people I'm going to bring on the glow are people with passion about whatever they're doing. I don't want anybody just selling something. If you're not passionate about it, then you really can't glow, in my book.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
So, Gary, tell us about what you do with the students and all the business things. You've been doing it for a long time.
Okay, so again, being a licensed real estate broker, knocked on over 50,000 doors in my real estate career. But then when the market bottomed out in 07, 08, I had to reinvent myself. So then I started doing the Southern California Black Business Expo and Expo Directory. So it was helping Black businesses increase their sales. So done that for 10 years. And then in 17, start getting calls from parents who were saying, Jerry, I know you know someone, because you're a resource, you got information that can help me. They trying to kick my baby out of school. And I'll say, okay, what day is it? They'll be like Tuesday. I say, okay, I can flex my schedule. I'll go. So after 5 visits to schools in 2 or 3 weeks, I start researching. I said, I can no longer go to the school district as a business name. And I start researching, and no one was in the lane as a Black student advocate. So I came with the website and everything. And now what we do, we advocate for both Black students and Black employees in the space of K through 12 school districts in the area of Ed Code 48900, which is harassment, bullying, fights, and things like that in the discipline area. So that's the area in which we run in. And We help families. So right now, to date, we have over 2,000 clients. We have helped both students and employees, and let them know what their rights are and stand in the gap. So we advocate, investigate, and expose school districts. And school districts are like roaches. When you expose them, they run,
Okay.
because they want to do everything in the dark. And our game and our business is we expose them, and we want to bring everything to the light. So we're a media company who do advocacy and expose school districts for the wrong and how they treat our students and our employees. And we help everyone. Whoever calls us, we help. Because right is wrong. But we target and look out specifically for Black employees and Black students because of the chronic absenteeism of Black students, the high discipline rates for the Black student, and the low test scores for the Black student. So when you look at it, the Black student is a new cotton. And that's the easiest way to say it, because long as school districts have failing Black students, they're always going to be able to get money. And then they can change 7 words in a proposal or a grant and redirect that money. And that's what we see, is that how do you continue to get billions of dollars, going through a system, but the numbers don't change. For the Black student, we're still about 20 points to 40 points behind the white student over the last 20 years. It don't make sense. And something else, what happened is that what COVID has done, and same thing Mr. Coulter was saying, it has exaggerated and exposed people who didn't have a solid foundation. And also it exposed school district white females that they can't teach Black students, and they have no relationship with Black students. And that's why the numbers are so great with the test scores, because they talk at our kids, not to our kids, and they're not culturally relevant to infuse everyday things that make the Black student interested. We see it every day with advertising that they just expect Black folks to fall in line, but that's not how it's going to work. And being right now, this is going to be one of the most transformational times in education, where now parents eventually going to be able to send their kids to successful schools. If they're private, public, charter, wherever, as long as the kid is getting their needs met, that's all that matters. And what happens is in school district, they want to talk about equality. Equality is every kid gets a pair of shoes. Equity is every kid gets a pair of shoes that fit. So it's the school district's job to meet the kid where they are, not the kid go where the teachers are. And again, with this online platform, you see teachers can't teach, and you're going to see a large exodus of white female teachers, because 80 to 83% of teachers are white. And you're going to start seeing them retire at rapid numbers because they're being exposed. And what happened is, understand this right here. When Mr. Coulter was talking, and also with the other guests, when they were talking, no time did they talk about how bad the client was. School districts are the only industry who get to blame the client, which is saying Black students can't learn and Black parents don't care. But what are they really doing? They're protecting the white female. Let's put the blame where it is. If you're 80 to 83% of teachers, you're 80 to 83% of the problem. What other industry can have 75 to 90% go for salary and pensions and deliver a quality product? You just don't happen. When what's going on right now with COVID, they're asking the union, what do you want to do? Not thinking about the student. Now, how backward is that?
Right. So the parents, what they do is, and when there's things going on with the school, they actually reach out to you, and you actually go into the school and speak to the school district, teachers. Like, who do you go to?
So I'm calling assistant superintendents, director of student services, or superintendents, and I'm asking them, why did you let little Jerry get bullied? The parent told you he was being bullied, and you didn't do anything about it. Now little Jerry don't want to come to school. So now it's been a detrimental effect on little Jerry's physical, mental, and academics. Based on them 3 things, that's a lawsuit.
Oh, wow. So how many lawsuits have you had to do?
Right now we have 4 districts that have been served. We have clients placed with 9 lawyers, 9 clients with lawyers, and about 8 to 10 in the pipeline still. Because the only thing districts understand is lawsuits and legislation. Because that's all school districts hold and talk about is laws, legislation, and that's how you got to fight them.
Right. So I'm glad you're there, because sometimes, even being a parent, I know that sometimes I don't know which way to turn when things go wrong at school. It's like you go to another school person, you go up to the district, but all these people are working together. So you need somebody to get in that can advocate for you. You don't have to, sometimes I guess you don't have to go all the way to a lawyer. You can have someone else come in and speak for you. That way your student will be heard, because there's so many kids and there's only one teacher. So,
let's call it what it is. I've seen everyone from a preschool teacher to a superintendent lie. Their job is to protect the district. And anyone who works for a district or get a contract for a district are expected to go along to get along. So even so, what the phrase, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. So you have black employees, because they have school debt, they want to eat, they have a car, they have a mortgage, they need to put their kid through college. They have to suffer in silence when they know other black students are being abused by the system, but their hands are tied. So we come in and we just hold them accountable, because I don't lean on the district for a contract. I have other revenue streams so I can stay independent in my voice. And I'll say that also, until black organizations become independent in their revenue streams, they're always going to have to tailor their tongue when someone says, hold up, you got to change that. And that's an issue we have in our community.
Oh, wow. So you don't take any, it doesn't cost anything for you to help the students? The
only time we put a parent up on a contract is when they say they want to sue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, if they just call me and say, Jerry, this is the problem, I'll say right now what you're doing. Because when the parent called me and tell me the school district, I'm looking up the school district phone number. And if we have time right then, I say, you have time now? Yes. We're getting on the phone calling the district right now to address the issue.
So immediate,
because our kids are never going to be this age again. So we can't continue to give these school districts a pass and let our kids be abused. Understand, we come from a long line of geniuses. When your kid is 2 to 4 years old, you're thinking, wow, he could be anything, she could be anything they want. But by the time they're 11 years old, you're thinking, damn, can they just graduate high school?
Right.
What happened? They went into the killing field and they killed their kid's spirit, their kid's enthusiasm, and their kid's will to want to learn.
So as far as a business, so what do you do in the business world that actually helps you to push this message out there?
So what we do in the business world, we have Black in USA, which is the expansion of the Southern California Black Business Expo, which is a national Black business directory and event site. So you can go and find events and businesses that you can support in your local area. So we just launched it, done a soft launch about 3 weeks ago. So now we're going to start really ramping up, getting everything together and pushing it out.
Oh, good, good, good. So they can find out about that on the same website, or do you have a different one?
Yes, because you can go to the Black Student Advocate and you'll see a banner ad for Black in USA, and vice versa, the Black Student Advocate or Black in USA and see a banner ad for the Black Student Advocate. So they're sister brother organizations, different LLCs, but both going into the Black community. Okay.
So right now you are in the state that you're in, but you work all over the United States.
Correct. So one call, and since I've been here, I wasn't going on site. And a guy calls me and leaves me a message and says, let me just say it. I'm white, my ex-wife Black, and my son's Black, and I'm a racist.
Wow. Okay.
Right, exactly. So I call him back and I say, man, what's going on? He started telling me da. And at the end, he says, and I said, okay, yeah. I said, usually I don't come on site anymore, but I'll come on site because, you're a couple of cities over. And he says, okay. He says, and I'm a racist. I said, man, I ain't trying to hear all that. Your baby need help.
Right. Still a
Yeah,
black child if his
yeah,
mother
right.
white.
And so when I advocated, for the student, and everything. So, but that's the kind of, we get calls of people, upset. They don't like the work we do. And I said, it's not for you to like, it's for you to enjoy it, the process, because
Right.
we're going to stand in this gap to advocate for these students and these employees.
All right. Well, I thank you for that. I know a lot of parents thank you for that. Now, how do I get the other guests to join into your business network? I'm part of the Southern California Black Chamber, and so
Right.
I would like for them to be a part of the Southern California Black Chamber as well, and also a part of your Black in USA, because they are nationwide. Glenn, you work in all states, right?
Correct. So the website is Black BLA. Yes, BLACK-IN-USA.com. So it's blackinusa.com.
Okay. So Kellyanne, you got that?
Yes. Can you say it once more, please?
Sure. Black BLACK-IN-USA.com. So blackinusa.com.
Thank you.
And Jerry, I wanted to say I agree with you 100% because I've experienced the spirit breaking myself with my kids' school. My daughter, I put her in a school. I put both of my kids over in part of the area where we live at Loyola Marymount School, with not the university, but elementary school. And I had a chance. I put a program together for the One Stop program. I created a program over there where the kids in the morning would get, when they're getting dropped off, they lost the money for the music teacher and some of the other programs. So I put sort of like a church program in where all the kids would take the envelopes home, try to raise $10 and bring it back. 400 kids, $10 each. We'll raise enough money to pay these teachers. Right. Long story short, I'm learning that a lot of what you said, 100% of what you said is true, but I didn't realize that, and I should have realized it because I'm out of Boston, first year segregation, forced busing, but I've experienced kids going through that thing that you just mentioned, and I just had the words a moment ago, but the spirit breaking, it's real. It's very real.
No, it is real. It is real. Yeah.
I'm talking about it. I'm talking about at second and third grade. I'm not even talking about fourth, fifth. They do it to these kids at second and third. I've seen it done. Try to do it to my daughter, and I've seen it done to other people's kids at starting out. And then the school, the principals come back. Well, that's one of our better teachers. One of the better teachers.
Yeah.
So
what you hear. Yeah.
And predominantly, like you said, is Caucasian. It's not in every school. Mm-hmm. And the support over there is strong because now in that area where my daughter goes to school at, it's a predominantly Caucasian area. So the fact that we're over there, we're lucky to be there. And the only reason why she's able to go to school there is because my office at the time was over at the airport. So we're right there on the ocean side of LA. Nice school, nice safe neighborhood. The kids don't have to wear uniform, but it is LA Unified. Right. I was able to get my daughter out of there, and right now she's in LA Unified's first all-girls school called Gala, and that's been quite an education. Which was started by a Caucasian teacher that became a principal, but the sister that just passed away, and I don't remember her name, that's head of it for Los Angeles County. She's the one that signed off on the program. And it's a good program for minorities, but now it's been taken over, and it's not a minority program. It's just a program called Gala. But a lot of these kids that go through, like my daughter's going through the USC / Loyola Marymount University program. She just turned 15 years old. She's focused on being a doctor. And so she's following that path, and Gala's given her that because it's an all-girls school, but it's the first LA Unified all-girls school, which is a whole different, you would know more about that than I would. But I see the spirit breaking. So
and what happens is that because we understand the difference that education can make,
right.
So we said we're going to want to give our kids better opportunities because many times our generations, we came from the community, deep in the community.
Right.
So we sent our kids to, quote, a better school, but now they got to deal with being called everything but their name all day long.
Right. That is true.
They got to carry. So, but then what happens is now they're up under that pressure from the school all day, and they can't come home and tell mom and daddy that there's pressure and I want to go back to my neighborhood school because you've done so much to put them in position. So now they got that pressure.
Right.
But what happens is after a certain time, then you're going to see the kids start rebelling at home because they're thinking, you sending me to the wolves then every day.
Right.
Protect me but you sending me out here, you dropping me off with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
You-
that's the level we're in, is that our kids got to see and be distracted by all or a lot of drama many times in the community schools because they don't have the resources, or they go to a different school where the resources might be better or a little better, but now they got to deal and navigate the racism ladder.
It's
Yes.
it's
Yeah, big time. As a
it's just
single
community
mom,
service.
I dealt with that.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
As a single mom, I had to deal with that because I had to. I raised two sons and a daughter. I'm remarried now, but in raising those two boys, we moved from the hood. I moved my kids to a suburban area where I thought was a safer environment because I had two black boys that I didn't want to become familiar with being stopped and feeling like they had to gangbang to protect themselves. I told them we moved to Chino Hills. When we moved there, I said we might eat beans and rice because I'm working so hard. But you guys are going to get a better education. You're going to have a lot more. What we dealt with was them trying to break my sons really early in elementary school. And then once high school came and they saw that they were on top of everything, their scores were as high as any other kid's scores were. Their grades were where they should be, and they were elite athletes. So it became a situation where the school district would call me up on the phone and say, your kids will play for this particular coach or they won't play at all. Now, I'm doing a lot of battling while working two jobs to raise three kids. And I'm consistently dealing with it. Got to the point where the school district didn't believe we lived there. So they had someone come and park in front of my house at 6 a.m. I've had my sons, and people know my sons on
Right.
And so as an Olympian, him training 11th grade year, he's running, and the police stopped him. He just had on his shorts. He's known in the neighborhood. He grew up there. And their thing was, well, you fit a description. My boys got to the point where one day they drove past my house because I had a black Lexus that was tinted, drove past my house. And I'm thinking, where the boys go? Well, the police followed them because the car was tinted. The windows were. And their excuse was, you fit a description. Well, you couldn't see into the car to see what the description was. Right. I dealt with that with the school district until it got to the point where I literally had to find out certain laws. And I found out as track runners, you don't have to run for the school. Just like soccer players, you don't have to play for the school. You can actually do it independently and still represent the school. When I found that out, and that was by a black principal at one of the schools there at that time, he was at Don Lugo, wonderful guy. He had to pull me aside with a counselor and begin to explain things to me because I'm by myself putting out fires for my black sons that I want to see go here because I'm here. I see where they're headed. I've got to work two jobs to ship them to different places that they need to go to academically and athletically to be better than I was. That's our goal, right? That our children would supersede us. Mm-hmm. And so with the battles, I had to have people have my back. It's too much to do alone. That you're so needed. Both of you men are so needed.
Right, yeah, well, right. We need people like that.
And the thing is that what you have is now anytime, and I got like 18 PSAs I put out. So now because you're asking questions and you're advocating, now you're labeled the problem. So anytime Black parents give school district boundaries, you're labeled crazy, disruptive, not a team, all the other things that you can be labeled because you're holding them accountable. And they don't like accountability.
My kids were not allowed to participate through me. They had to talk to coaches, and coaches wouldn't talk to me. So my thing was, I understand what you're saying. They won't play at all because they've got to go to college. So they don't have to play here. They can do it elsewhere. We're good. Mm-hmm. We're good. But that's a tough thing to be Black and have your kids go through those things, and you stand. You gentlemen are extremely needed. Extremely needed.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. And that's why we have them here today on the Globe, because we want to bring up all the Black businesses, the Black people that are out here helping, working, and have passion, because we don't want the bullying of school to follow adults to where now we don't help each other. Now I got to worry about
this right here. The biggest bullies in most neighborhoods are school districts.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Because many times they're the biggest buildings. And what other organization other than state, county, federal, and school districts always want to have meetings at their building, basically in their sandbox? That's part of it. That you got to walk in and they want to manage the meeting and they want to have everything in their sandbox. That's part of the game. And the issue is that many times is that parents can't advocate for their students because of the PTSD of when they went to school.
Right.
Yep,
It's the same principal,
right on.
same counselor, same
Yep.
administration that's there who says now, oh, that's Jerry's little kid. Oh, he ain't gonna be anything. And so parents are scared to go back in and fight for their own kids because of the traumatic situation.
That's true.
Right. And sometimes when I've been to my son's school, I'm a single parent right now as well. So I've been to my son's school, and sometimes the front desk, front office administrator lady, she talks to me like I'm one of the kids. Go sit down.
Right.
Go over here. Hold on. I'm a parent.
Right.
You don't talk to me. I'm not one of these kids.
Right.
I'm like, you don't just tell me sit down, go over there, be quiet. He's gonna be out. Like you don't talk to me.
Go have a seat.
That's the place that they have to go every day. That's the only required place that the kids have to go on a daily basis, or else we'll be in trouble if they don't go.
So let me talk about that real fast, and then we can move on. So I already said 80 to 83% of teachers are white. But when you see individuals striking, you see a whole bunch of people of color.
Right.
It's only 17% or less employees, but you see a whole bunch of people of color. So naturally, with our passion, I want to look out for that brother or sister who teaching.
Yes.
So you want to support the teachers, but you support the school district, okay? So understand, until about 2 years ago, the Janus Law, you had to be a union employee, a union member to get a job to be a teacher. That's part of the game. Wow. So the school district is the marketing firm for the union, and then the union take the dues and go pay a lobbyist to then entertain the lawmaker to take away your rights as a parent. It's a cold game. This education game has very little to do with education, and it has more to do with protecting the employees and politics. Because if you want to win and be an elected official on the state, many times the county or the federal level, you got to get the endorsement of the teachers union.
That's true. Wow.
That's the game.
Well, thank you for all that information. Thank you for the studies that you did, the research, because sometimes within business, within people, parents, the research, like sometimes you need to do more research, see what kind of options you have. Like Glenn said with the foreclosures, a lot of people get scared when they see notices come to the door. And I believe usually it goes back to when you were a kid, getting a bad notice from school. Like you hiding the note as if it's going to go away. But if you get a notice that says your property is going to be defaulted on, you haven't paid your bill, and it's getting redder and redder as it goes, you get scared of it and you hide it instead of saying, hey, there's someone named Glenn, foreclosure, he can come and help me and talk to me. Don't be afraid to reach out and talk to people that may be able to do something for you. And it's like we grow up and we still have like a little PTSD where we don't want to be bothered with this and we don't want to talk about that. But it's like these things are all important because we are just grown up little kids that are out here functioning in the world and trying not to be bullied, trying to be nice, trying to help each other. Like I'm looking out for, because this show, The Glow, is not about me. Everybody knows I do a lot of things, events and constantly bring people together and have them to learn from each other, learn how they can help each other. Just bring light. Because if you're passionate about it, it translates. People can see that you are passionate about the foreclosure. You're passionate about the students, and you're passionate about your personal brand because it's something that you actually their hands on and built. So anybody would love to get behind that, you know?
Yeah, no, I want to make sure that you understand.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah, please.
Glenn, what you're doing is so important right now because kids' lives have been shaken up over the last 4 or 5 months. And then what they know as home also could be shaken up. That's why what you do is so important, brother.
Yes.
Jerry, let me say this. I'm one of those kids from the other side of the wall. I wasn't born in this country. I came into this country at 6 years old. My parents, we lived in Boston, grew up in Boston, first year of segregation, forced busing. I was one of those kids that went to school on the ocean in Boston, where when we came out at 12 and 11 years old, there were Caucasian people standing out there with bricks, bombing our buses. I've been through all that. I've been locked up in school all night, National Guards to get us out.
Wow.
And being here and being in banking, I've been through 5 takeover bank robberies in South Central Los Angeles. I've had Uzi's automatics put to my head. Here's the thing. A lot of what we do wrong, we don't have to do wrong because there's a way to do it right. And we've never been given right. I can show us how to buy homes and properties with LLCs, with P&L, bank statements, no tax returns. You don't need nothing to come up on anything. You just need the opportunity. We just don't know where they are and who they are. You don't need to have a job. You can create your own business within yourself. We set up LLCs. We show you how to fund them, how to get the financing done. More importantly, we show you how to take your life from where you are to where you want to go. It's about sitting down, understanding who you are, where you are, and what your options are. Whether or not you're losing a home, whether or not you want to buy a home. The idea behind limiting us, there's no limitations. You know, this world, a lady said it best on television the other day. She said, this system is set up for just white people. And it's true.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
It's true. And so now that we have a new forefront that black people are finally coming up front, I say to us, look, you got a bunch of guys out there, NBA players that are making a lot of money. There's still no black banks around. There's only one in California, Founders. We don't understand. We have to have we have to have white agents. We have to have white publicists. And if we don't, we're not accepted. And we're not going to be accepted. We're not going to get. They're opening that up a little bit now. They're firing a lot of people that spoken out against it. They're opening up doors. So they say, you know, even the Oprahs of the world are restricted as to what they can do because she's just one black woman with a network. And she's opened up doors for as much as she can where she's at. But the idea behind it all, I think in the long run, if we get a better understanding of how to control the financing game, let me put it like this. Real estate transactions are $1 billion a month in California. Real estate foreclosures over $10 billion a month.
Wow.
Houses, homes, we can finance yachts, airplanes, homes, houses, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, churches, gas station, your dream home, your dream business, what you want to do, who you want to do it with. You want to get to Oprah for your product that you currently have? You might not need Oprah. I've seen a lot of people go on Shark Tank. Here's what's interesting. Some people went on Shark Tank.
I got offered.
They wanted to get that free logo, that free brand, and it's great. A lot of people went on Shark Tank, already had the answers to their questions, but didn't know it because they didn't understand where they were.
Right.
A lot of
I believe you.
Business. Right. You're already making money. You don't need Shark Tank.
Right.
You need to understand your business. We open up the Subway. We open up the one store. We have predictions of making $1 million a year. Well, you should open up 5 other businesses at the same time. I'm a banker. You know what I want to see? I'm interested in your deposits. So at the end of the day, all we care about is the more you show us you don't need our money, the more we want to get involved in your money because we want to make money with you. Don't run from it. Come to us. We cannot live or survive without you. You see, the misconception in the foreclosure game, the banks are not the bad guys. The bad guys is our lack of understanding, and then the private investors who know they can use their money, lowball our value of our homes, and then use the private services. The private services take the blame for what the private investors. So let me give it to you straight. You have the Caucasian investor, which I've been a victim of. Hey, Glenn, we want to build a $100 million company with you. I went out there, I acquired 3 properties. I negotiated all 3 as a banker would with a bank. I picked up the first one from Chase. It was worth $500,000. I got it for $210,000. I picked up the second one from Aquin. It was worth $1 million. I got it for $600,000. The third one for Wells Fargo. It sold for over $3 million. I got it for $1,095,000. We closed escrow October, November, December. January, you put me in foreclosure. Because the intent was not to have a relationship, it was just to use my ability to negotiate debt and take advantage of it. And I said, wow, this is done to me. So now I go to court and I fight. And then I realize in court, if you don't have $100,000, $200,000, you're not going to win nothing. It's a setup. So here's what I'm telling you. If I've been in banking all my life, which I have, for major players, and if I'm from the standpoint I've been, what do you think they're doing to mom and pop at the job at the post office, been there 30, 40 years with his house in South? Here's what's happening. In Baldwin Hills right now, you have the average home value of at least $1 million to $2 million. They're telling us our homes is not worth it, but meanwhile, they're expanding on the homes and building them at 3 or 4 million. The developers are taking over the community. They've changed the zip. So this was under District 9 or District 8. They took it away from Karen Bass and brought it into the COVID district. So now you don't have that minority represent you within your own community. And now Baldwin Hills and View Park, where I live at, with these beautiful $1 million homes, most of them are losing it for under $1 million. The future value of them are 3 to 5 million. So guess who's buying them? Guess who's taking over? The Baldwin Hills Association is no longer Black. It was run by 2 gay Caucasian men, which one of them just passed away. How do I know it? Because it's my wife's IT manager at UCLA, and I know him. And he bought the house from a Black realtor. And they now run the association. And guess what they're doing? They're making sure that you're acting right within your community, because now they're investigating you. They've got cameras on your homes and houses. They've come to visit me, and I've been here before them to bring me tea to come to my house to be known. So it's a different game. Right. And they're not asking us, they're taking our homes, because we are so trained that when they show up at our door, we're trained to just, Mr. Charlie wants my house, let me just sign it over, get and move.
Yeah.
Minority, we call the police on us, put us in jail. It's just sad. I see it every day. I went down and I'll stop in a minute. I went down to what's called, a lot of us don't even know the difference between realtors and realtists. Black people weren't even allowed to be realtors. So they created
1947 realtors.
Black people weren't even allowed to be in banking. And that's why that movie with Samuel Jackson is very important, because you get a real education on, you weren't allowed to be in banking, and you weren't allowed to even get loans to buy homes. And the brothers went to jail because they took the money coming in from Blacks and whites and used it to fund Black people's first homes. It was okay for them to take the Black money and use it to fund white homes, but you could not put no white money into no Black person's home. They went to jail for 3 years for this, for legally helping Black people acquire homes. So understand the system. It's still the same place, and the processing plant is called the court system. Come on down, because we're going to not only take your home, we're going to help the investor take everything you have and then leave you with nothing but a judgment against you still owing. And your lawyer can walk away. So I'm saying it to say that a lack of understanding education, it's scary that I can't one-on-one, because I might talk a little bit too fast because my English doesn't come out good, so you're scared of me. I know more than you, so you're afraid of me. I don't want your home. I just want the same rights all of us should have, to be able to do what we want to do, achieve the things that we want to achieve, live where we choose to live, and build our dream the way we should in America. That's it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. That was a mouthful for the glow. Sorry. I'm so glad. No, thank you. The information, everybody needs to know this information. We cannot be scared. We cannot always, we can't always be so scared to go to the school and have a problem. We can't be so scared to go to the bank and say, hey, I need help, or a banker. Be able to actually just be bold. Like, you know, the people, they do whatever they want, you know, they invest, they bust down doors, they'll do a protest for anything. So you have to be able to be there. So I would like to thank you all, Kellyanne, Jerry, and Glenn, for coming on The Glow. I hope this has been a blessing. I hope the three of you connect with each other. We see investors, we got people. So I want everybody just to make sure you stay connected with one another. Everybody's information should be on the screen. We are almost at the end. Anybody would like to say anything on the way out?
Yeah, let me say this right here. Any parent, as you go to a school, don't go by yourself. Take another set of ears, because school districts will lie about the interaction. Also, you don't have to yell. Just ask them, where's that at in the school handbook? Where's that at on the district website? And where's that at in ed code? And 9 times out of 10, they don't know. And they're just quoting things because they know a little bit more than you.
Well, thank you so much, Jerry. And any closing words, Miss Kellyanne?
I appreciate everything that each person contributed to today. I appreciate you allowing me to be part of your show today. I really do. I thank you. And I'm walking away with something. I've actually added you two gentlemen to my Facebook page now. So I'm going to inbox you and ask questions. I appreciate you.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Glenn. You wrapped it up for us pretty good, but everybody's going to be reaching out to you. You have your website. We have your phone numbers, and I'll bring you guys back on, because a lot of stuff happens, a lot of stuff's going on. So this won't be your last time coming on the show. I thank you. from Vonshai at the Glow. And next Wednesday, we'll be here once again at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
Thank you.